Republicans hoped it would. In fact, even results of the tax bill that seemed positive at the outset, like AT&T's announcement that after the tax bill passed, that it was giving bonuses to 200,000 workers, have failed to stay sunny for long. Turns out AT&T also plans to lay off over 1,000 workers early next year. Meanwhile, Democrats are wringing their hands with glee at the growing number of opportunities to capitalize on the unpopularity of tax cuts for the super rich in states where the Republican Party was already beginning to look vulnerable after their repeated attacks on health care. So, how will Republicans react to the Gilded Age backlash? And will it give them pause as they pursue parts 2 and 3 of the driving Republican dream, ending the Affordable Care Act and slashing away at Medicare and Medicaid? Joining us now is Bruce Bartlett, former domestic policy advisor to President Ronald Reagan, one of the architects of supply-side economics, and author of the book, The Truth Matters. So, Mr. Bruce, Trump's, you just got a bunch richer, telling that to his Mar-a-Lago friends. Is that tone deafness at the way that that's going to come across to the American people, or is that a recognition that it doesn't matter what the American people say? His supporters don't care if Republicans just enrich themselves and their friends.
I think to a large extent they don't care, because what they have done is set fiscal policy on course in a way that it won't even matter next year if the Democrats get control of the House and Senate, because they're going to inherit a huge deficit caused by a massive tax cut, a completely unnecessary tax cut. There's absolutely no economic justification for it whatsoever. And the fiscal responsibility groups that used to be so powerful and said absolutely nothing during the tax debate are suddenly gearing up to say, oh, we must reduce entitlement programs, and we must scale back on welfare and food stamps and all of these programs that help ordinary Americans because of the deficit. So it's all part of a plan, you see, to inflate the deficit and then use the deficit as an excuse to slash spending.
And, Utah's Orrin Hatch, who's been just